welcome to our special grand final edition of Bounce. And we've been proudly supported by our good friends at Holden right throughout the 2015 season down here at the Fox Footy live site outside the MCG. Massive show coming up, and given it is a grand final special, three gentlemen very, very comfortable on the big stage. On my left, Danny Frawley, Alistair Lynch and Andrew Gaze. Gents, good evening.
Good evening,
Chief.
Chieftain.
Oh, now, can I just tell you about the size of the show we've got coming up? So it's an hour and a half grand final special. Some of the game's biggest names are joining us live on set. A couple of awards to give away, all the usual segments, the best ofs, and to top it all off, talk about scoring big. We have a deuce of grand final tickets to give away tonight. Now, they will go to someone that is here. We're looking for the best signs in the crowd, the big live crowd down here, the most creative, the most unusual, the smartest signs there. Spud and Lynch, you will decide that one of those signs will earn for themselves 2 grand final tickets. Now, that's as good as it gets, surely.
Bit of pressure on Spud, but there's some good ones out there, so looking forward to giving those away. I'll tell you how big this show is. Gazy's even got a microphone on in the first segment.
A little Madonna action going on here, which I like a lot, Chief.
Are you nervous, Gazy, the Hawkers?
Well, I'm a bit disappointed that I'm involved in the selection process of the sign, but yeah, very nervous, Spud. I think that, you only have to go back a couple of weeks ago to see what took place over there in Perth, but the big stage, a lot of experience. Let's hope they can get over the line,
How good is it doing a live show outside of the studio at a live venue? And I can't, do a quick head count. We're talking, tens of thousands of people down here?
I would have thought 70,000, Chief. At least 75,000 here.
Somewhere between 50 and 100?
Absolutely.
Easily.
Great crowd.
Still pouring in.
Pouring in.
And you know what I like the most? Is I was able to catch public transport down here, but
You caught a tram?
I did. I caught a tram down here.
on.
But I'm upset, Spud, because it is wrong. In fact, it is criminal to vandalise trains, Spud.
That my writing.
You are not allowed to vandalise trams.
No, that writing's too neat for me. It's as simple as that. That's not me.
And you spelt your name right, which is very, very
exactly
different.
right.
Now, people think it's the last show because it's the grand final special.
No,
I do need to give people a heads
show.
up. We are doing a best of show on Sunday night at the usual time of 7:30, and that'll have best of all the segments we've done throughout the course of the year.
So we're doing another show?
Yes. That's what
Sunday
you get
night.
paid for.
But I thought this was our last show.
Handsomely, I might add.
This is our second last show.
Second last show.
There you go.
Okay. All right then. I'm happy with that.
Okay. The penny has dropped. Big grand final parade today, and we're actually down here at the same site as tens of thousands of people line the streets, and this is when you know we're getting close to game time. I mean, the day before, the crowd's out, the supporters here, the players, some relaxed, some a little bit nervous.
It was a magnificent atmosphere down here, and you're right, I think everyone was pretty impressed by the crowd. The weather was first class, and both teams went onto the stage, and no doubt there was a number of nervous players as well. Just down in front of the stage, there was the rest of the squad of the West Coast Eagles and their families, and they were obviously very excited. So a massive day for both teams and both supporter bases, and obviously West Coast went out and trained on the MCG, and yeah, it looks like everything's going beautifully.
Well, they did have a little training run, which was very interesting. So they've only played once throughout the course of the 2015 season. It was a closed session, so we're kind of looking through the peephole here just to get a few little shots. Just had a little bit of a run around, a little bit of a loosen up, a little bit of a kick, just to familiarise themselves.
Well, having played with an interstate side and not playing too much of the MCG, that would be really good. And it's good to get out and just get a few of the cobwebs out of the system. And it is a vastly different ground to Subi, so to get out in the MCG, even if it's not even quite half paced, just to wander around, I think it'll be beneficial for the Eagles players.
So this is their second time in the G. They beat Richmond comfortably, didn't they? The first time of the year. So great to see.
Yeah.
But no changes for the Eagles, just the one change for the Hawks. Did it surprise you?
Oh, look, I really feel for Billy Hartime. It didn't surprise me that Schoenmakers stayed in the team. I thought he was outstanding last week. Gunston obviously come back in, so our heart goes out to Billy Hartime. But as you know, there's tough decisions to make, and Clarko hasn't been afraid to make them. So, no, I thought Schoenmakers would stay in if Gunston came in as well.
All right, as the parade ends, the 2 coaches and the 2 captains are then presented to a rather eager media throng.
The harsh reality is we got smacked right in the gob in the first final, and anything that happens in terms of the history of this particular era or whatever, means nothing unless you focus on the here and now and what's important. Stark and easiest manner of summing up the qualifying final loss is that the realisation that if we don't play somewhere near our best footy, we're going to be bridesmaids tomorrow. And
the performance we put out over against West Coast, the first final was not up to a final, and they showed us pretty much how to play that game. Since then, our 2 games post the West Coast game have been a lot better. The intensity's been there, but that all means nothing if we haven't learned from the first final.
Looking at the game last year, it was about the contest, wasn't it? So I think that's something. It's easy to say, and I've been saying it all week. So we've got to deliver that, because I know Hawthorn will. So we'll have to be on our toes with the contest.
End of the day, it doesn't matter if it's country footy or AFL footy, it's about the contest and making the most of the opportunities. So I think both sides will get that tomorrow, and it's just whoever can convert the best. That's pretty much as simple as it will be, I think. And when it's your turn to go, you have a go.
That's what it's all about. The last words have been spoken prior to the big game tomorrow. So, gentlemen, we do need to have a tip, and also who you think might snag the Norm Smith medal.
Oh, I'm going with the Hawks. I think they'll be too tough tomorrow, regardless of the heat, and I think Chip Frawley. You might think I'm a bit biased there, but
just a touch. Go on, Spud.
If he keeps Kennedy to 1 or 2 goals, he's in the running for the Norm Smith.
Richie, you're the dissenting voice.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the West Coast Eagles in a real tight one. And I might have read the numbers on the way through the crowd there before. West Coast Eagles, Mark LaCroix, I think he might kick a handful, and if he does, there's a Norm Smith medal.
Well, the interesting thing is I've gone for the Hawks in a tight one. Isaac Smith maybe to get the nod. 3 very small margins there, and then there's Gazy's tip.
Yeah, Gazy.
Come on, pull up, Gazy.
48
Luke
points.
Hodge just been on the sick bed for a little while, carrying a few injuries, but that's conservative too, I like.
That comes from a supporter, doesn't it? I'll tell you what has been interesting in the build-up to this game is listening to some of the comments from the players. Now, Jared Roughhead, for instance, is lining up in his 5th grand final tomorrow, and I reckon at his press conference he was even more relaxed than one of the journos.
Sorry, have you got that mic turned on?
Yeah. You sure you want to check?
Sorry.
Important week.
Yeah.
Come on. Nervous, obviously. First grand final week.
Good clip.
Mark LaCroix and his beautiful wife are expecting a baby soon, but they did some very, very careful planning earlier in the year.
Got a baby due about a month after the grand final, but I had to make sure that the missus wasn't near me, conflicting with the dates.
One way to make sure it doesn't happen, I guess. Now, it's interesting talking about Mark LaCroix, because if you cast your mind back, I did give him a little cook earlier on in the year because he went for a fancy dribble kick.
Massive
and
cook.
And you know what that does to me. We actually crossed to him live after the game.
And I
think he understood that he was in the wrong, and he half apologised. Half, maybe. But
well, he did. Only half apologised.
Can I tell you what worries me? I've seen things at the Eagles training that disturbs me. Have a look at this.
Oh, Chief, they're taking the cloud double 5 out of you.
What is?
Come on, Chief, launch, come on.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
Come on, Chief.
All I'm going to say, Spud, is come grand final day,
even Adam Simpson.
The coach is doing it. So if some snapperhead goes to one on grand final day and it costs them a goal and they lose, I'm not going to say I told you so, but
I reckon
proof's in the pudding.
That just reinforces you've lost touch with the modern game.
I wouldn't have thought
so. They've lost touch with you. Adam Simpson's even doing them.
We'll find out who the victor is after the game, won't we?
Yeah, well, what about Clarko, mate?
What about him?
The big fella. He's
you call him the big fella. Have you seen Clarko lately?
He fetches a few balls there for Jack Gunston. Did you see that, the fitness test?
Yeah, well, he had a little bit of a one-on-one, and he's not above going over the fence to grab the ball.
No, and that's fair enough.
Was the club struggling financially?
What is going on there? Where's the property stewards, Chief?
That just shows you that whatever needs to be done, Clarko will do. I would have thought that's pretty handy.
They must be struggling. No, I haven't got a problem with it at all. I think it's outstanding. The triple premiership coach gets over the fence and helps Jack Gunston.
Now, we all tuned into the Brownlow Monday night.
Yes.
Yeah. I found it fascinating, but I loved when we saw the votes being carried in. I knew for certain that no one was going to snatch it out of this bloke's hands. He's got arms bigger than my legs.
Looks like Gazy carrying that box.
Sure it's not Luke Beveridge.
It does look a little bit like Bevo.
Gary Ayres.
If ever you wanted tight security for the votes, I reckon that qualifies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does.
Because that box is about 5 kilos heavy.
I saw something else very interesting on Brownlow night. Now, I thought you had a patent on the famous head wobble.
Yeah, I have. Look at that. I got the patent on it. It's mine.
I'm not
There it
sure
is.
you do own it. Let's have a look what happened Brownlow night when Paddy Dangerfield was on camera.
Pull up, Paddy. Oh, this
what was
is...
that, Spud?
Paddy, that is pathetic. This is how you do it, my friend. What is going on there,
thought it
Paddy?
was
Get
good.
fair dinkum if you're going to do it.
What I also loved was the red carpet, and we heard from Ross Lyons' beautiful wife Kirsten, and maybe found out a little bit too much about Ross.
Kirsten, he's a pretty hard taskmaster, this man. Around the house, does he only hand out rewards verbally after something really good?
No, it's always about effort, damn it.
Always about effort on the home
Would
front.
be.
Come on, Roscoe, lighten up, will you? But it was a great decision, a great result, I think, for Nat Fyfe winning the Brownlow. And then you start to stack up all the other awards. And we, of course, have our Fox Footy Player of the Year
What a
award.
great award.
He was way in front early, and it was a long way home, wasn't it?
Yeah, the whips were cracking later on with a few of the players, but he held on, didn't he? He was
Did
outstanding.
you expect him to hang on in all these awards?
No, I thought he'd get run over in the last couple of weeks, actually, but it was an amazing season. But it just shows that first half of his season probably never be matched.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Well, I had the privilege of going down to Crown Casino yesterday afternoon to present Nat Fyfe with a cheque for $10,000 for being the Fox Footy Player of the Year, and had a little bit of a chat. Well, Nat, you've just got out of hospital this morning, I believe. Tell us about the operation. What did you have done?
I had a plate installed on my fibula, basically to put my bone back together. Julian Feller did a great job, and he reckons 2 weeks in the moon boot and then 8 weeks no running, but I should be right to resume full training come the start of pre-season.
Nice. Yeah. Not bad to miss 8 weeks of running either, is it?
He said no bike, no cross-training, nothing, so it'll be 8 weeks holiday.
Well, mate, I've got the absolute pleasure of coming down and presenting you a cheque for $10,000 for winning the Fox Footy Player of the Year, as judged by our very astute Fox Footy commentators, so that is yours.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.
Now,
Thanks
it's not quite the Brownlow medal, but I was just thinking maybe that might buy a drink for the crew at the Lake Grace pub, because you're very grounded, and the way you mentioned Lake Grace and the shots that we had of them, they're a pretty rowdy crew, aren't they?
I think they're well watered after a few good days on the drink down there, but yeah, this will be put to good use, and yeah, thanks very much.
Now I have to ask you, have you heard of the show Bounce?
It does get over to the west. We do love tuning in at whatever random hour on a Sunday or Monday or whenever the show is played.
I have to ask you about Danny Frawley. He's a curious fellow, our Spud. What do you make of him?
Well, I was a Richmond fan, and so I've always had a soft spot for Spud, and I think he's great on TV.
But what about the Golden Fist and defenders and punching and all that sort of stuff?
Well, he gets a run at our club as well. We got Zach Dawson, who's one of the greats. Luke McFarlane, a retiring great. They're always on about the Golden Fist.
Do you get into Andrew Gaze's Turn It Up?
It's probably the one I haven't got into too much. There's some left field stuff there. Gaze is a ripping Australian icon though, so nothing bad to say about him.
Have you ever featured in Lynchy's top 5?
The top 5, I haven't seen much of the top 5.
Am I barking up the wrong tree with my dribble kick rants?
I think the message is slowly but surely getting through to different players, but there is a need for it in the game at some point.
There is a time and a place, isn't there?
There is.
But do you think it's getting overdone?
Well, I think you're a bit of an outcomes-based commentator when it comes to the dribble kick, because if it goes through, we don't see anything of it.
Correct.
Time and place for the dribble kick.
Before we let you go, I do need to ask you, who do you think is going to win the grand final on Saturday?
Yeah, well, I played Hawthorn last week and they got the job done. I think they're just far too powerful. They're the best team in the competition. It's where the West Coast can bring pressure on the day. I think Hawthorn will be too good.
Mate, you've had an outstanding year, a wonderful fellow. Credit to the game, and it's been a thrill to present the check, and I hope you had fun, mate.
Thanks very much.
Now, I can guarantee you will not meet a nicer bloke in football than Nat Fyfe. He is an absolute credit to the game.
Well,
but you know what? The best thing is, Spud, you and I came out of that all right. Yeah. I don't know about the other two.
I think Gazy's in shock at the moment. Lynchy,
hadn't heard of the top 5, it's fair to say.
Gazy, how are you travelling?
Chins down. And,
come on,
really
lift it up.
disappointed.
Lift it up, mate.
And you've been well watered at Lake Grace as well, many years ago. A bit of a sportsman's
many years ago, yeah. It's an interesting place to go.
Inspired him?
Lake Grace. I'm not necessarily in a hurry to get back there, but it's a long way out of Perth, let me tell you right now. Now, I'd love to get a little sample from our live audience down here. Andrew Gaze believes that his stats segment is very popular. Does anyone agree? Yeah!
Gazy.
He's back. He's back.
A man of the people. Unfortunately, I've just realised I've got no Wi-Fi here, so I've only got tweets from 2 days ago, so that won't help. But over the week, we had some cracking stats about the grand final, and the first one is what we spoke about before. Luke Hodge trying to become the only man to win 3 Norm Smiths. So I've tipped him for that to happen. The other one is, how is your boy, your nephew James Frawley? How would he be thinking? Because he's played in 12 wins with the Hawks this season. It took 3 years to win 8 games with Melbourne, so that was also coming through.
Very
so
good.
he'd be loving life.
Yep.
Now, Norm Smith, when we think of it, what's the favourite number? What number gets over the line for Norm Smith the most? Well,
Number 5.
all right, okay.
Oh, we just steal his thunder.
I was just trying to guess. I had a guess.
Well, who are they then? Yeah.
Oh, well, Nathan Buckley be 1.
Nathan Buckley, very good.
Don't look down at your running.
Ryan O'Keefe.
Ryan O'Keefe is there. James Hurd's the other one. And Ryan O'Keefe and Gary Ablett Sr., of course.
Gary Ablett Sr.
Let's hope that. The other one is the Heat. The Heat. This could be the hottest a grand final we've had in 3 decades, and you have to go all the way back to your era.
87.
Well, you weren't there, Jace, because it was too hot and you weren't able to pull them on. But that was when, look at this, Michael Tucker. You never got to see his arms very often, but it was
Nicely
that hot
weenie arms there at
back
Tucker.
in those days. But this is what people have this year, and I want to say, not thousands, not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of tweets coming in with the stats, and we've been able to come down with the top 4 stats that were tweeted this year. And let's not forget, Gillette kicked in and did some wonderful things. The first one is this. Have a look at this. You see the substitutes there was Tyson Goldsack, number 6, Brodie Grundy 4, Seedsman 40. That's a score. 6 goals, 4 equals 40, and that of course come from Jared Cass. Riveting stuff.
Bad.
Look at
Not
them.
bad.
Look at the audience.
Yeah.
They are just enthralled.
They're still trying to work it out with us.
They're still figuring out. What's the score? It's a score. 6-4.
Yeah, 6-4.
We got from
I hope
Ryan,
you're building.
Move on.
Ryan Carmody. This is numerology. Was very, very popular. Look at this one. Doubling. 32 doubled is 64. 32 plus 64 equals 96. How long is there remaining in the game, ladies and gentlemen? If you don't mind. I appreciate a bit more enthusiasm, but yes! Spot on! Hey, there's more. And this comes from the Players Association 2IC. That's high up! How high up my segment was. The 2IC Ian at the Players Association. Ian Prendergast, come with this. This was in July. Hey, Andrew Gaze. The Chiefs' favourite time of year. Look at the first letters of each month. July, August, September, October, November. What does it spell? And D for Dunstan. All right, and the very last one is coming in from Chris. That was very good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. I like it.
This, how do you reckon?
This is flying, mate. This is the best.
Chris.
This is crescendo.
Well, these are all equal top. So this comes from Chris, and it's at Huey Jr. Have a look at this. Again, a bit of numerology. 7 doubled, 14, 12 doubled, 24, if you don't mind. Riveting stuff. There it is, the top 4. Right. And Gillette kicked in a lot this year, so thanks to them.
While we have got the people here, guys, we might take a quick straw poll. Who thinks this segment should continue next year?
50-50.
Turn it up.
That's in.
I'm not sure there's enough to make it happen again next year.
There's enough goes in.
95%, and there's some blokes over there just not having all their faculties together. They're the only ones that just pick back. All the smart people here, they were right. They're loving it. Yeah. Look at them. Have a look at them. They love the segment.
Putting a little bit of mustard on things now, I think. All right. What you do need to do tomorrow at about 10:10 is tune in to Fox Footy and watch the Fox Footy longest kick final taking place. Now, this is going to be huge. Spud Lynch and I will be down there at Birrarungma, and we have got 12 past and present players, some of the best kickers in the game, that are going to try to kick it 75 metres across the Yarra. The likes of this man you're seeing right here, Taylor Walker, can kick a long bong. Don't worry about that. Jake Stringer knows how to get the ball out there. And of course, these are just drop punts we're looking at. Imagine if they get hold of a torp. The great Fev will be there, Brendan Favola, who does fancy his chances. I'm starting to hear, because there's 10 grand on the line for the longest kick. Big Matty Pav Pavlich puts through bombs, so he is a star as well. And Drew Petrie. So we have got some blokes that can seriously get the ball out there. And one of the blokes and one of the favourites for the competition, Spud, is this man here. That's a drop punt from the square at the MCG. And he's been good enough to come in and join us on bounce. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Hawkins.
Tommy. Tommy Roy.
Now, Tommy, great to have you on board, mate. We need to ask you, you haven't been involved in the finals. How much have you been kicking?
I actually went for my first kick yesterday down at Gosh's paddock because I've had 3 weeks off and haven't kicked the footy. So I heard one of the Rocker boys did their hamstring during the week.
Had to pull out.
So that's the last thing I want to do, and get a call from Steve Hocking and Chris Scott and letting them know that I've pulled the hammy off the bone or done the quad. So I had a kick yesterday.
How are they coming off the boot? How are they coming off the boot?
Oh, look, just. So we only get 2 kicks at it, so that's the interesting part, and it's going to be great fun down there tomorrow. So can't wait, some big long kicks, and it'll be a bit of fun.
What about the nerves, Tommy? You obviously played in the big stage here, won a grand final for Geelong. How are the nerves going to be tomorrow? Your first cab off the rank, I'm with the boys.
Yeah, I know. I just heard that just before, so I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm a lot more nervous than I have been this year for a game of footy.
Particularly if the first one comes off the side of the boot.
Off the side, I know.
Well, that's the thing, Tom. Do you go the barrel, go all in first up, or are you going to go a drop punt and just get something 65 metres down the track?
Well, I think you're going to need luck tomorrow, and I'm going to start off with a barrel.
Beautiful.
And if it doesn't work out, I might try and throw one out there with the drop punt because I'm kicking against some long kicks, obviously. So it'll be exciting.
Now, there's a lot of money at stake, and if my memory is not mistaken, didn't you recently get engaged? Have you recently popped the question? So 10,000, does that go to the honeymoon fund? Where's all that going to?
I actually haven't told my fiancée Emma.
What about the size of the rock on a finger?
Oh, was that it there?
Yeah,
I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm paying that off at the moment. So and a trip to Fiji.
So pay that off, I reckon.
She actually doesn't know that we're kicking for 10,000 tomorrow. So there it is.
We'll
nice
keep that
hairy
in-house.
chest. Yeah, do that because she'll probably be tuning in tonight. So. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, as I've said.
The 10 large might pay for half of that ring.
Yeah. You pay for the band. That's about
Hey, Tom, we've got to ask you about the big game on the weekend.
Yeah. 2
good teams that have been pretty consistent throughout the course of the year. Are you favouring one over the other?
Oh, 2 outstanding sides. The best for the year, which is fantastic for AFL footy followers. So, look, I think Hawthorn have been the best side all year, but over my time in football, the sides that have generally done well on grand final day have had a great preparation, and I think West Coast have had that. Look, it's going to be a great game, but for them to win their semi well, have a week off, and then win their prelim, they've had an outstanding preparation, and I think that counts for a lot. So it's going to be a close battle for me, West Coast by about 12 points.
Hey, there you go.
You know what worries me the most is he's making a hell of a lot of sense. That was beautifully reasoned out. Hey, Tommy, thanks for coming in, mate. We look forward to seeing you down at Birrung Matamara for the longest kick. Cheers. We need to take a break. We've got the mark of the year coming up, also the dribble kick of the year, and a little bit of yesterday's Heroes Challenge.
Fiuapole, brilliantly done. Rioli scorches away, runs into an open goal and misses.
Stops now.
Jason Dunstall's at home watching. He goes off his head when players try and dribble him along the ground.
I'll have an aneurysm!
He will be going spare at the moment. Why wouldn't you kick a drop punt, the chief would be saying?
That is rubbish! You bubble-headed imbecile!
I had a text message from Jason Dunstall to ask you a question. Do you know what that would be?
That dribble. Fung was lucky enough to get fed all the time, and we have to earn them.
All forwards get fed, my friend. I just got fed 1,250 times.
Jason Dunstall will get hold of that one, won't he?
Look at this. Now, what about that?
That's what you said. Alan, what are you doing? Well, mate. You doctored that.
Oh, jeez.
have a look at that. Even big signs in the crowd saying ban dribble kicks. And I'm not sure the message is getting through.
I don't think it is, because, I mean, I was down here earlier today and we were down here and there was hundreds of thousands of people and the vision I saw was disturbing for you. Let's have a look at this.
Oh, no.
This is all the kids are doing. This is all they teach them. This is a clinic.
Dribble.
This is an official clinic from the AFL and they're teaching kids how to do dribble kicks. Now, surely, Chief, you've got to make an impact. So what you're doing now, it's farcical, Chief.
This is infecting the entire football community.
It is. What are you going to do about it?
Well, it's a disease that I'm trying to stamp out, but it would seem I'm doing it single-handedly.
Well, the fact
it's
that
a tsunami, mate.
It is. It's a tsunami. It's just going berserk. But because we've seen some great ones this year, surely you're still going to award a prize for dribble kick of the year.
Yeah.
Surely.
Well, I started to get worried because even a few Hawthorn players saw one there.
Mate, they're taking the PI double five.
PI double five. P1 double five.
Yeah, P1 double five out of you. I'll start again. The P1 double five out of you, the Hawthorn players. No, don't laugh. This will wipe the smile off your face. Let's have a look at some of the Hawthorn players here.
Oh.
Now,
well, that's
they don't. I thought they idolised the Chief, guys.
They're not listening.
Guys, they're just not listening at all. Have a look at this. Suckers. He just could have kicked an easy drop punt. He said, no, Evan Clarko. Evan Clarko's having a crack.
Correct.
Ruffy.
They've lost respect for you, Chief.
Come on, Ruffy.
They're losing respect for you, mate.
It is. And that
was losing respect.
That was just the Hawthorn ones. Now, we've seen, and you actually mentioned this guy before. Let's have a look at Mark LeCras from earlier in the season. This was an interesting one.
Well, this is one of the
12 metres out.
Lynchy, I'm telling you right now, this is one of the contenders for dribble kick of the year. This is my last attempt to stamp this virus out. I am going to make a point right now. So, Mark LeCras, you are in the top 3 dribble kicks of the year. Another one I'm going to have a look at is Robin Nahas from the North Melbourne Football Club. I mean, please.
What other choice did he have?
What was Tuvey going to do?
Chief, that one was a bit harsh.
Tuvey was going to disappear into thin air, was he?
No.
How was that ever going to go through?
Mate, are you going to jump the fence tomorrow if someone does it?
I'd like to also have a look at one from Chris Dawes earlier on in the year.
Oh, no, don't go there.
Oh, no.
Oh, Chief, settle down.
Now, I just
settle down, Chief.
Let me get my head around this. He's a key forward who's in the business of kicking goals.
Very good player.
He's 20 out directly in front, looking at the goals.
Yeah.
And what did he go for?
Dribble. He went the dribble. You've
It's
lost all
official.
respect.
The dribble kick of the year for 2015 is Chris Dawes. And he's good enough to come in and have a chat to us, which I think is absolutely outstanding. Now, Spud, you need to move away, please.
I'm going to move away, Dawsey. I need to see this for my own eyes.
Chris, thank you so much for coming in, because we do need to have a chat. Now, just look at me, forget these 3 for the moment, because they really don't have anything to do with this. Why?
I can't explain it, Joe.
Are you better than everyone else?
Oh, no, let's move away.
Oh, jeez.
Are you special?
Depends on your definition.
Do you have extraordinary skills that we're not aware of?
Far from it.
Why? I don't understand, mate. Can you help me get my head around it?
I'm the one who needs help here, mate. You saw that kick.
But everyone's doing it. Why?
Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, and you would have seen it on that vision there, I was that scared. I thought I was going to get tackled, but I've dropped it, and in the end, I've nearly run it into the point post. Yeah.
So I need to know whether it's worth the effort that I continue to try and stamp this out, or if you players are just going to continue to do whatever you like.
Look, having seen that vision there, I promise you I never want to be sitting in this seat again for that reason.
That's a win, Chief.
That's a win.
That
You've got
is a
one.
big win.
You know what? I had all these things I was going to launch at you with, but you've been so humble, so accepting of the responsibility that I now find myself unable to do any of that. I want to shake your hand and say thank you for facing the music. We appreciate
That's
we do
pathetic,
appreciate
Chief.
it.
You're pathetic,
Now,
Chief.
hang on a minute.
You're pathetic.
Hang on a
You
minute.
said pre-show.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting him to come in and throw himself on his
No,
sword.
you've lost it. You've lost
if
it
you'd
now.
like to back up, hey, have a go.
No,
I'd
not
love
at all.
to see
No,
Dorsey club you.
No, I know Dorsey's father-in-law extremely well.
Hard to really defend those actions, though. What else
See,
could I do?
what I was going to do, mate, is give you this. dunce/decap for dribble, but I'm not going to do that now because he's come in and he's accepted responsibility. Mate, while we have got you, we will ask you about the grand final. Are you leaning one way or the other? Do you have a fancy or not particularly fussed?
Look, I think I've been saying all year the Hawks. I think they're the best side, but the way the Eagles have been, the way they won in the qualifying final. That said, I'll be honest, I don't reckon I've watched a game of the final series purely because I'm a bad sport and I get too jealous watching it.
What about the Melbourne Football Club going forward? Plenty of Melbourne supporters out there just waiting for the D's to start rising again. How far off it?
Look, I think it's exciting, definitely exciting. If you look at the amount of young talent we've got, I think realistically over the next few years that's obviously going to keep growing and translate into better performances. My biggest concern at the moment is trying to make sure that I can hang around to be a part of that, because obviously success will come. It's a matter of how soon, and hopefully I can still be there.
Well, mate, I'm very appreciative of you coming in, and I think everyone should give him a round of applause for embracing the music. Good luck, mate. Jeez, I was all set to talk.
You've lost it, Joe.
He took the steam out of me, Spud.
You've lost it, mate.
He took the steam out of me. I'll tell you someone that's never taken the steam out of me. Throughout the course of 2015, we started to get back into the Yesterday's Heroes challenges, and I think I've got Spud covered.
Oh, Chief, can you believe it? They're only using balsa wood. Mate, on the farm.
You've done a bit of taekwondo on the farm, have you?
Red gum trees. The axe broke. I had to chop them with my hands. Do you want to see? Hold that matchstick. Yeah! Yeah! Oh, nice. Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Nice. Yeah! Nice. Yeah! Oh! Go! Yeah! On. Yeah! 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 He's got ya! Go! With the fist to the guts! He's coming! Oh, he goes! He's all over! He's gone down! Hey boy, you okay? Oh no! Chief, you red! You alright, mate? Come on! Intestinal fortitude! Look at him! Oh no! This is one of the all-time great upsets! Look at Spud! He went too early!
Daisy, turn the camera off before we get out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shrinkage in here, mate. I think I've got an innie.
Go! Here they come. It's neck and neck. Oh no, the Chief's off to a commanding lead. And the Chief, oh, he stumbled at the last block! He stumbled at the last block! It looked very tight at the end. What happened? There was a stumbling. I think the Chief, ever so slightly just pipped you at the post, Spud.
You sure?
I'm positive.
I come home like
You did.
win.
He just had the technique. Look at the power he's jumping. There's fear for a man, fearful of heights. And he's got the stop button. Oh, what a score. 16.2.
Well, he should be pretty good at it. You know why?
Power?
No.
Agility?
No. Speed? No.
Why?
He's related to monkeys. He's a silverback.
Go! Away! Oh, look at Spud. That's why. Come on, Chief. Get up there. Chief, what are you doing? Get back round and get up there. Chief, you can't do that, Chief. This is a disgrace, Chief. Spud!
Yes!
Spud!
He got to choose this challenge, and I didn't like it at the start.
Oh, so you suki, la la. Is that how we're going to do it?
Did you get off the ground? Did you just flinch there?
Yeah, I did. I thought you were going to hit me.
He's got it! Gah!
That's what we had to do.
What?
Softly, softly, quietly, and then one swift motion.
Oh, Chief, you've left the gate open!
Get him, Spud!
Chief!
What is that?
It's a hairpiece for James. There you go.
There we
There you go, mate. All rise. Courting session.
Enough off of that thing and dance to you sing it now.
3.5 minutes.
Got him! He's done.
Oh, no.
What?
3.5 seconds.
A great effort by you two.
Bad luck, Chief.
Sorry, you are disqualified.
Lindsay.
He's a cute
Thanks, mate.
little thing, but
Bad
Spud
luck,
to
mate.
get the win. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, hell.
Daisy jumped again.
It's official. We're losing the plot. We need to have a good chat about yesterday's Heroes Challenge. We've either got to get back to basics and get those mainstream sports going again. or are we too old and we need to get these two going?
No, I reckon it's entertaining seeing you guys.
What do you think next year, guys? What do you think?
Well, at Fox Footy, people can tweet in their suggestions, but Olympic year, I think we just need to go back.
Olympic sports?
Yeah. Olympic sports, focus in on that and see who the master is.
Combat sports.
Yeah,
do you want to see yesterday's Heroes Challenge continue? That's a resounding yes. That means more pain for us, you realise that?
More pain for you, not me. Well, I'm Mr. Natural, mate, you know that.
All right, we saw Nat Fyfe, who was the Chic Player of the Year earlier on in the show. Now it is the 4 and 20 Mark of the Year, and these were the leading contenders.
Fox Footy Mark of the Year brought to you by 4 and 20.
Out the back, Puopolo looks to there's nothing the little man can't do.
And he gets to Taylor Walker! Skywalker! That was beautiful to watch. That was a set play. Lindsay Thomas feeding for him. Saad getting there. Lindsay! That is an absolute ripper.
He hung up there for an eternity.
Beauty!
Turned side on top of him. Look at that. He took his armchair with him and sat up on top, Nick Natanui.
Towards Gawn and co. And that's Dempster. That's a fine pack mark. He marks well above his height.
This was the 4 and 20 Fox Footy Mark of the Year. We were entrusted with the decision making. It was a split decision. It came down to the two marks, Lindsay Thomas and also Nick Natanui. And in the end, the nod went to Lindsay Thomas for the Mark of the Year. It was a beauty.
Not a popular win.
Have a look at how long he hangs on him for and then turns around and catches it over the shoulder.
At Metricon Stadium, massive jump from the little fella, and that's a huge grab. They were both great grabs, and it was hard to split. As you said, it was a split decision. You got outvoted. Do we want to go through who you voted for?
Well, I thought Natanui was a really good mark too.
You did, but you had him fifth.
I think you had Dempster first.
You had Dempster first. You had Taylor Walker second. You were completely off the board. Now, unfortunately, Lindsay Thomas has had some surgery and he couldn't be here, Lynchy. But that's the check that he's got coming.
Wow.
Now, I wonder, Spud, if you're a North Melbourne player sitting at home and you see Lindsay winning that, do you think that's going into the players' fund or into Lindsay's pocket?
I would have thought the players' fund.
Someone has to kick it to you to take the mark, don't
Exactly right. Exactly right. I just think that he shares it amongst the 42 players on the list.
What did Boomer do when he got that car?
He didn't share it with anyone.
I think Lindsay, we want all of this, I would have thought, and Rich, we deserve.
Now, mate, don't worry about the mark of the year and all that other stuff, the best player. We want to bring on the best award in AFL football, and you guys know what it is. It's the Seabass Golden Festa Award. We know. It's the award for defenders, mate. They get the job done, and tonight I'm going to introduce another superstar, along the likes of Teddy Richards, Josh Gibson, Brian Lake, and last year's winner, of course, Scotty Thompson. And it's just one of the best awards going around, you know that.
But you've gone a game early because it's always included the finals in past years, and now you're saying it doesn't include the finals.
Mate, you've read the articles, the Golden Fist articles, way back in the day, and don't butt out. Well, have a look at the articles here. The Articles of Association of the Golden Fist, and as you know, in the fine print, you know what it basically says?
What's it say?
It says Spud can do whatever he bloody likes, all right? And that's the way it is.
How about you just announce the winner?
No,
and
I'm not announcing the winner. I'm going to build the suspense because we're going to have a look at
the winner.
Well, I am shortly, but the Fist of the Year, the Golden Spoiler of the Year, goes to Easton Wood now. This got him over the line for All-Australian
so
halfback.
He wins the Golden Fist.
No, he doesn't. This is the spoiler. Look at that whack. 12 rows back from Easton Wood, had an outstanding...
That's the spoil of the year.
The spoil of the year. The Seabass Golden Fist spoil of the year, Jace.
But he doesn't win anything for that.
No, he doesn't. He gets on the television like he just did then. All right? No, he got in the All-Australian team for it. And now we have the ear massages for the year. That's right, Chief. And we have a look at Ferrito here. Have a look at some of these. On Tex Walker, whack! Cop that, Tex! Cop that over your ear, old son. Buddy, cop that as well. Get up, buddy! No, that's right over here.
That was the one.
And big Matty Cruiser. Have a look at Matty. Whack! No. Cop that, Cruz! Cop that, Cruiser. Double whammy there for Paddy Cruiser.
You can't
Now, I'm
encourage
building the
that.
suspense. Let's call for the drum roll. Let's call it. Unlike that 5 who limped over the line, this guy had it won. He won by 11 votes. Alex Rance from Rexford wins it. Where's Rance? He's come in here, Rance. Have a look at some of the highlights here from Alex. It's bringing a tear to me eye. Have a look at some of the spoils here. We know he's dual All-Australian full-back, but this brings a tear to me eye. Some of this footage, some of the skill, some of the speed, some of the way he uses athleticism to not only give ear massages, but have a look at some of these spoils. I tell you what, this is just incredible highlights. A double whammy there, Chief, just for you. So, well done, Ramsey. Here you go, mate.
You beauty. Thanks, guys.
Look at that. Enjoy it there. What's it feel like, son?
Oh, this is... it's probably better than the brown light, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Alex.
Hang
this one around my neck as well.
Now, Rancy, dual All-Australian. Now, where does it rate with that? Come on.
Oh, I don't get to wear this around, so I've got a jacket that I can wear for the
Now, you're going
All-Australian.
overseas?
Going overseas.
You're going to bring that with you?
Absolutely, I'll check this
Put it on the bed head every night, just before you go to sleep. Just give it a little kiss.
Don't they say you've got to check anything worth more than 10,000? So this is probably where my big check.
Mate, that is worth. That's worth about 50k. Mate, that is gold bullion, my friend.
But before you get too carried away, Alex has been good enough to come in, and just before the show he was standing around chatting to some young kids as he does, and they had some golden fists, little golden fists that they were showing to him. Look who's completely disinterested in the background. That's you. You've turned your back on kids with a golden fist.
No, well, I thought it was Alex's time to shine.
Completely,
right, and I just thought I'd give him a little bit of airtime.
Utterly disinterested. Now, Alex, talking about All-Australian, we've also got some photos from the All-Australian, because Spud did his best to dag the backman and nobody else. All he did was go up to all the All-Australian backmen and say, ha ha ha, I got you in.
I did.
Did it feel like a dag on a sheet
You wanted this photo.
And rightly, I actually did ask for that one.
He did, so, see, there you go.
It was, no, he was floating around like a bad smell, but it was nice. He's a man after my own heart, so I loved having photos with him, and the 4 or 5 times that he asked me as well.
Now, Rancy, I was going to ask you a serious question there, but I won't. But anyway, tomorrow's game. You've obviously played on the 2 big key forwards, West Coast Josh Kennedy and Hawthorn's Roughhead. So tell us a bit about playing on those 2 guys and what's expected.
Equally difficult for probably 2 different reasons. So Ruffy is very creative, puts other people in good holes, and can potentially sit on your head, whereas very strong, long man in Josh Kennedy, he very honest, so you can't sag off too much.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one. Are you prepared to put your neck on the line and say who you think's going to come out on top?
Sure, I'm an emotional man, and I'm going to go for the Coasters with. I'm going to go for the Coasters.
All right, you got to bet West Coast.
What's that got to do with your emotion?
Oh, the old boy.
He's a West Australian.
Had the colours on, West Australian.
But he played an eternity ago.
He was a star.
Yeah.
Romance?
Romance.
He would have kept you quiet, wouldn't he? A few times.
No, he played on Dermot and towed him up.
Oh, that's
Now,
different.
Rancy, tomorrow, the longest kick competition. We know you're one of the greatest defenders of all time. What about the art of the torpedo?
Probably not as great as the spoiling ability, but I'm definitely going to give it a crack and wait for a good breeze.
Have you been having a bit of a practice?
I will tomorrow.
That's a no.
Yeah. Don't go too early, mate.
Now, Jace, Rancy's been bugging me, and I don't really normally let people do the golden fist action, but mate, as soon as I hear the winner...
Really?
You're okay? You don't get too excited, settle down.
What, mate,
have a crack, have a crack. There it is.
Do we count it down?
And I want a big applause when it goes up. Get it ready! Rancy! I love you, Rancy! Oh, gee! I'm going home with Rancy. Have a look at this. That brings a tear to me.
This is starting to get on.
I'm overcoming, Rancy.
Now he's getting emotional. Rancy, mate, thank you so much for coming in. We look forward to seeing you down at Birrungmar tomorrow morning in the longest kick final. So good luck with that, and have a fantastic off-season, mate.
Thanks very much,
guys.
guys.
Ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic stuff. And now, Lynchy.
Wow.
Well, it's about time we had a decent top 5.
Well, absolutely. Now, Fifey doesn't rate the top 5, so we're going to have a crack at a decent one. So we're going to go top 5 grand final moments. And it's not going to be your typical moments. It's going to be in the spirit of the bounce. So it's not going to be Jezelenko's mark or Leo Barry's great grab or my goal that sunk the Pies in 2002. We're going to go for some different ones. So number 5, legendary commentator Peter Landy. Look at his work here with the frustration with the kids here. Look, he just booted one little kid up the bum and gives another little backhander. So probably wouldn't get away with that these days with Peter Landy, legendary. Now we have to turn the clock back to number 4, 1963, Geelong Hawthorn. Now, no wonder Hawthorn were no chance. They got the piano accordion in going pre-game, and Happy Hammond runs out with the team. Now, how do you reckon the Hawks would go on the weekend if a comedian runs out the back of them?
How can you take that seriously when Happy Hammond runs out breaking the bounce?
And they got up flying. Number 3, we're going to go Cowboy Neil. Now, just the week before this grand final, Big Peter Hudson kicked 7 goals. And they were very worried he'd do the same. But Cowboy Neil had a different theory. Now, again, that's something you wouldn't get away with these days, and not good.
He just clubbed him.
Yeah,
he clubbed him. Peter Hudson still kicked 3 for his 150th, and obviously kicked them in the man of the mark and out in the full for his 151st.
Is it true that Cowboy first mentioned at the team meeting during the week that might happen?
Well, Jeansy actually said in the pre-game meeting, sort of said we'd take 6 from Hudson. I think we can get over the line.
If we can keep him to 6, we can still win.
Keep him to 6. Cowboy said, I think if he's unconscious, he won't kick any. So that's what they say. Once again, not great. Now, number 2. Now, you can't go past this one. 1966. Collingwood St Kilda. Steve Stevens, the late great Steve Stevens. Now, as you know, he's not done yet. Courage under fire. Goes down again. Went on. And hang on. Gets
up again. Look at him.
Signals the goal there, and went on to be the mayor of Moorabbin later on, did Steve Stevens. You know that, didn't you? Yeah, he's a passionate St Kilda man too. Now, any normal top 5 about grand final moments, that would be my number 1. But everyone, I must admit, I got pressure from the right over here to make this one number 1. And it goes back to the great grand final in 1989, the first bounce. Let's have a look at this. Here it comes. Big Yatesy comes off the line and cleans up Dermot.
Get up, you squid.
Now, what about that one? Now, I got a lot of pressure from over this side, as you can imagine, to put that one in.
Well, I know you're looking to your right. Now, Chief, you demanded this beyond. You demanded that Dermot getting cleaned up by Yoda. You did. You demanded that he was to be on. I know that you and Dermot are sort of at each other a bit.
Oh, please. You've had your go. Now I'll explain exactly why it was demanded that that be number 1. Because there was some footage that we found, and it happened in a Hawthorn St Kilda game. Dermot clubbed you. He knocked you out. You got carried off.
I didn't get carried off.
You were crying?
I wasn't crying.
That is the reason you demanded to see Dermot getting a little bit of his own
I might have asked for it a little bit, not much.
I wasn't going to clarify. I'll just say it was over this side. Got the big push.
Now,
so, very good.
Lynchy, I'm really surprised at that, because there's one piece of vision and one thing that I thought for sure was going to make the top 5.
Yes. What? We heard it there.
I tell you what, I went 50 years through the files to find those. That's the best of them, mate.
Well, I think our audience alluded to it. Have a look. This is the vision I'm talking about.
Lynchy! Lynchy! Look at that!
Lynchy!
Hey, didn't you love that? That's it. No. Hey, I think Wood's back, and I think top 5's back.
I think he went to hospital there because of windburn or pneumonia.
He did. He got pneumonia.
Have a look at this.
What?
Have a listen. Have a listen. Hang on. Listen to the windburn.
What about Acker and Shawnee Burgoyne just getting in amongst it there?
Let me just state this very matter-of-factly, that here at Bounce we don't condone violence, and I can tell you that absolutely nobody was hurt in that. In fact, not a punch was landed. Now, throughout the course of the year, Danny Frawley takes great enjoyment out of pointing out the embarrassing blunders from players that could cost coaches their career. And we call it the Don't Come Mondays, and tonight on this show, he will declare, unveil, however you want to announce it, his Don't Come Monday Team of the Year.
Most people I know think that I'm crazy, and I know at times I act a little hasty, but if that's my way, and you should know it.
Come on,
That's embarrassing. Who was the artist? Come on, you should know this one.
It's
Who's
easy.
the artist?
Billy Thorpe.
And the song?
Most people I know. Think I'm crazy.
Yeah, and that's right. I think I am crazy. But anyway...
What did you say that day? Can you say it?
No, there's too many people here, especially the kiddies. But this one every player gets, Jace, the Don't Come Monday. Now, what a magnificent Guernsey
Has
that
anyone
is.
ever seen an uglier jumper than this?
No.
Oh,
and on the
Hawks one.
back,
There's a whack.
not only that, no. And I'm also, there it is, not only the team of the year, I'm going to announce the captain of the year of the DCM Don't Come Monday All-Australian Team of the Year. So we're going to start with the full back line. That's right, the most important line of the DCMs. Have a look at the full back line here. We've got Jack Fitzpatrick, we've got Heath Grundy and Shorey there. Now, I've picked out the one of three, so each line we're going to quickly go through. So Jack Fitzpatrick, Don't Come Monday, Queen's birthday. What were you thinking? What were you thinking there, Jack? Seriously, I've seen a lot of things in footy, guys, but this one takes the cake. We did it at primary school, the old tunnel ball. Now, it's always a throw under the armpit there, so Jack, do not come Monday. The half-back line, we'll get straight into the half-back line. Have a look at this for a half-back line. Matty Suckling, Harry Taylor and Basher Hooley. And who could ever forget the Richmond fullback kicking out? Look at the time on the clock. Look at the score. Oh, no, I'll go long down to the middle of 1 on 4. 1 on 4. Right, Ibbotson marks it. Whack. Straight there to Mundy. Mundy goes back. The score. Straight over the goal umpire's hat for a goal. And poor old Basher Hooley. Do not come Monday. He had to live with that all week. The centre line, one of the most important lines, as we know. We've got Mitchie Wallace here. We've got Gary Ablett Jr., one of the superstars. And this would beat the All-Australian centre line. I've got no doubt in that. BJ Goddard there now. Mitchie Wallace, do not come Monday. Have a look at this. Score's tied with under 3 minutes to go. Oh, no. I'll just, I'll fumble the ball and have a look. Fremantle will get the ball again. Over to Fife, the Brownlow medalist, and there goes Mitch. Do not come Monday.
You're harsh.
Jeez, you're harsh. Bro.
Now, Josh Kennedy, let's hope.
Superstar.
Yeah, he is Coleman medalist, but he is in the half forward line. Have a look at this: Nahas, Josh Kennedy, and Adam Schneider, who's had a great career. Josh Kennedy, have a look at this. Torches Selwood in space. Now, hello. Stevie Wonder could see him. Have a look at the graphics there as well. Roy Orbison could also see him. But Josh goes, oh no, I want to win the Coleman medal. It's all about me. But I just want to handball it tomorrow, Joshy boy.
What about poor old Robin Nahas? He's in your team. I gave him a cook for a dribble earlier on as well.
What, the human tripod?
He's having a bad day.
Was Roy Orbison blind, was he?
Roy? No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't actually. No,
that's why he would have seen
Stevie Wonder. Ray Charles. Ray Charles is the other guy.
That's right.
Anyway, the full forward line. Let's move right along. Move right along. The full forward line there. Lacroix, beautiful player. Big Dicko, Charlie Dixon and Stevie J. Now the chomp, Stevie Johnson. Have a look at this. Oh no, whistling Dixie. Whack! Cop that, Stevie J. Cop that from Savage. Stevie J. Do not come Monday. Now. The followers. Have a look at this. Followers line here. We've got Wits. Jared Wits there. We've got Dustin Martin and Dangerfield. Yeah, Dangerfield.
You're stacking your
team. But Big Witsy, have a look at this. Have a look at this effort here. Have a look at it. Can you believe this? Oh no. I'll put a pair of wicket-keeper's gloves on. I've got table tennis bats on my hands. Look at that. Just mark the ball, son. What they do, he drops it and they kick a goal. Now, as we said, Chief, I said I'm going to bring the captain in. I need the drum roll again.
What, here?
Right here on the set.
So this is effectively the worst blunder of the year.
The worst blunder of the year goes to the captain. And here it is. Jack Fitzpatrick for the Melbourne Football Club. Fitzy, where is he? Bring him in. come in here, Fitzy. Well done, son. Congratulations. Well done, Jack.
Jack, how are
Whack
you?
that on, mate. Whack it on. Whack it on. This is
you
exciting.
can't make him put it
He's got to put it on. He's got to put it on, Jace. Right, this is amazing.
Yeah, it looks like you vomited pea soup.
Now, Jack, you must be honoured, mate. You've got it ahead of guys like Gary Ablett, BJ Goddard, Paddy Dangerfield. You must be overcome with emotion at the moment.
Yeah, mate, it's outstanding, really. Probably up there, one of the greatest parts of my life, along with getting diabetes, I reckon.
Okay. Hard to sort of to question after that one, Jack. But you okay?
No, I'm good, mate.
You want a Mars bar or something, right? Mate, what impact did it have, the DCM, on your career? What impacts have it had?
Well, you say it's don't come Monday, but it's fair to say I played full back that day, and despite keeping my man goalless, still got dropped the next week. Didn't play for the rest of the year, and then got delisted. So for me, it was probably don't come ever again rather than don't come Monday.
So surely you're not blaming this bit of footage.
You got to take responsibility for this, Spud.
Jack, I didn't realise you were delisted. So I've actually had a part in you getting delisted at Melbourne.
By the sound of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about being made captain though? This could reignite your career, surely. Oh, I think it will. Do we think? We think it'll reignite it, won't we? Yes. Come on, Jack. What do you think?
Well, I think when you got on your CV that you're a captain ahead of the likes of Gary Ablett Jr. and Patrick Dangerfield, it can only help your chance.
It's got to help your CV.
Can you put your shovel away, please, and let's just talk sensibly to Jack for a moment. This is a courageous effort to come in, mate. You've taken it in great spirit. Tell us, you have been delisted, so what do you attempt to do now? What's next for your football career?
Hoping to get picked up by another club at the moment. That would be ideal because...
Still training, keeping yourself in good nick?
Yeah, definitely. Nick. So I'll try to be. Yeah. But yeah, ever since I was this big, always wanted to play league footy, and that's still the dream. So hopefully I'll get a chance somewhere else.
I'm curious because we've seen you play effectively at both ends of the ground. Where would you prefer to play? What's your favourite position?
Honestly, I don't really have a favourite. Like, it sounds cliche, but I just grew up loving footy and I still love playing. So whether it be full back, full forward, I honestly don't mind. I just enjoy playing the game.
Where did the I don't want to harp on it, but
you will.
Where did the tunnel ball come from? What was going? What was going?
Did you shovel away?
What was going through your cranium at that stage?
Well, I heard that Jarrett Hayne was going over to the NFL and trying to make a career out of it. So I thought, well, while I'm there, I might go over and try and get the 2-for-1 deal.
I like it.
Straight back to Joffrey in the third row.
But what did Roosie say to you after the game?
We actually had a bad patch that quarter where a few things went wrong. There was another kick out by Dunny who kicked it straight in the man of the mark and I kicked the goal. And that were the two examples he brought up, that and myself. And I think that from memory the exact quote was, "Fitzy, you just continue to amaze me."
that can be a positive.
Oh, absolutely. Outstanding.
Ladies and gentlemen, a star for coming in. Please thank.
Well done.
Well done, Jackie. Well done, mate. You're a good sport. You're a good sport, mate. Well done.
Absolutely brilliant, mate. Thank you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for Gazy's Turn-It-Ups of the Year. Put that away, will you? Welcome back to Mouse. Thanks to our good friends at Holden. The grand final special coming to you from Fox Footy live.
He's nervous, Gazy.
He's out of control already now. Matt Fyfe described you as an Australian icon early on in the show. It is time for you to live up to that with the Turn-It-Ups of the Year.
Anyone put it through? Of course he will. How's that?
You're on.
Icon with no sense of humour, I think he used. But nevertheless, hey, there's been a lot of action going on this year. We're going to start off with one of the superstars, Nicki Minaj. What an entertainer she is. And when you get a young fella up on stage, he can be overawed by the circumstances. But look at the way Nicki Minaj just is able to just calm the young fella down and have a look at the young fella.
Come on.
Now, unbelievable. Now, I say this, temptation is the root of evil. It is. It is the root of evil. And if you're going to take a kid to the candy store, what do you expect from the young man? Turn it up, Nicky. Right. Don't be throwing that at him because he was enjoying the moment a little more than he should, the young fella. Now, We see out there's some opportunistic people that try to make good out of a very bad situation, and some of them will exaggerate injuries that they sustain. And here, this is in China, a man trying to just make an insurance claim. He just runs out there, and luckily the camcorder's there. And when you talk about temptation, he says, "No, that didn't do it, so I'll have another crack."
He's kidding himself.
He's just trying to do some harm to himself. And there's an advert for the cat.
Can't we walk off?
Turn it up. I mean, you got to do a bit better than that. Now, we all got pets. I think most of us have pets, and we love to have cats. And training the cat, I think we've been conned, because we saw this vision throughout the year of a cat in a house. There was a spy camera put in, and have a look at what the cat does in the bathroom. Turn it up on every other cat out there. We got kitty litter, we got crap everywhere. They can do it in the toilet, for goodness sake. Incredible stuff there. Now
turn it up on the person who's filming it.
And turn it up on the cat. Just might need a bit of a prostate check.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of trouble there.
Flow wasn't what we would have liked to see. Hey, but it seems like the dogs, they need a little bit of toilet training as well. There's the dogs out there. You thought just
the big minnow.
That's Nixon and there's Minson and Pickin there. Just turn it up,
Murphy,
boys. I would have thought. Was it?
It was All-Australian captain Bob Murphy.
Well, turn it up.
Well, under the bus he goes. Were you sure?
It was Liam Pickett.
I think it was Liam Pickett.
It was Liam Pickett.
Sorry, Bob.
Apologies to Bob.
Sorry, Bob.
Now, I think we've uncovered something this year on the Bounce and the Turn It Up section, and that is that how you can extract teeth from kids. There's been some creative ways in which you can do that.
Not this one.
It all started with, this is Brian Clay. This is an Olympic javelin champion. An Olympic javelin champion. He put it out there, and this sparked a frenzy of action. Look at this. Whack the tooth on a motorbike. What happens here? What is going on? And then there was one more we saw here. Just put it on the little, the drone that was out there. I mean, I know orthodontists haven't got a good rap this year because of what happened to poor old Cecil the Lion over there, but just go to a dentist, hey? It probably saves a whole lot of problems. Now, this is a good message for all the good folk that are here today, because grand final emotions can get the better of you. You get excited and you think your team's going to win, you say, bugger it, I'm going to go out and get a tattoo. You might just want to wait until the game's over, because here we have, this is the FA Cup, and this is a man there that was tipping his team to win. He was hoping that Arsenal was going to get over the line. Aston Villa was going to get over the line. Unfortunately, Arsenal, what did they do? They won 4-0. So
what did he do?
So turn it up on the tattooist. Help my man out, because people out here, emotions are running high, Spud. Just settle down, make sure you look into it all. Now, this was a beauty earlier on. I think we've all done it. You go to a service station, you think, I want to load up with some petrol. So this lady here, she comes in and says, I'll be buggered, it's on the wrong side. I'll have another crack over here. You know what, it's still on the same side. You know, I'm going to get this right. I'll do a 3-point turn. No, it's still there. How do I figure this out? What is going on here? So for the fourth time, that's done the trick.
Come on. She's pulling our leg, Gazy, now.
That has done the trick. For the 5th time, she does a 3-point turn.
Come on.
The stupidity of some people, it never ceases to amaze me. I mean, what is going on in the world? Turn it up, drivers. We won once or twice, but 5 times. Give us a spell. Now, another. When you're at the petrol station, and we all can get a little bit nervous when a spider comes along. Very nerve-wracking. You want to get rid of it. Particularly it's when with the nozzle there. When you're at a petrol station, you've got to think carefully how you're going to get rid of the spider. I'm suggesting this is not the way to do it. A spider's in there, so he says, I'll get my lighter out and I'll burn the spider, and the whole joint goes up. Here it is here. Now, again, the stupidity that we have been able to illustrate.
Why didn't blow up?
He tries to get a spider out of his petrol with a lighter.
Yeah.
Did he get it?
I think the Spider is no longer with us.
I think it's barbecue.
That's not
a word. You can't bag him.
That is not the point, Lynchy. Now, this is probably the one that I like the most. And I'm calling. You've had your turn your. Of the year type situation. This is the turn it up of the year.
Yep.
When you're a budding stuntman and you're trying to figure out a way in which you can create attention to yourself, getting some fire ants and putting them on your agates, I'm not sure that's the right way to go about it. Let's see how that particular theory worked out.
Oh, come on.
You want to have a show reel. You want to have a show reel when you're a stuntman. That's not the way to go about it. Turn it up.
What was he actually thinking? If that went well, what was going to happen?
He was going to be the stuntman of the century. That's what he was going to do.
Can I just say it wouldn't hurt him to butch up that scream a bit either. Is there any chance he could do
a bit of bass in there would help, wouldn't it?
No, well done, Gazy. Outstanding effort, mate. Well done.
Well, Jace, after I get my runny back, because Gazy lost his. Surprisingly, there's stuff everywhere here, so he stole mine. We're going to have we've got another top 5.
Oh,
now,
hang on a minute. How come Lynchy gets 2 top 5s? Why can't I get 2?
Well, the thing about a top 5, mate, is they're normally exciting highlights. We're not going to do 2 top 5s when it comes to defensive crap. So keep going, please, Lynchy.
And what we do look at each and every week is Falcons. And let's have a look at the top 5 Falcons, and we'll start with retiring Gold Coast son, Andrew Rains. Let's have a look at this. This is in the warm-up at Etihad Stadium.
Oh,
now, I think that's when Rainsy thought, you know what, I think my career's over. I've played 129 games with Richmond, Brisbane and the Gold Coast. I'm done. Happens to the greats of the game. Triple premiership Geelong player Corey Enright. Played 300 plus games. Let's have a look at this one. Bang! Now you talk about big spoil, Spud. He's tried to put that 10 rows back.
Yeah, but what about
hit him
the
fair in the
Roman
head?
numerals? Why can't you just use normal numbers? Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're using Roman numerals here.
Oh, so this is getting to the high end, the sort of intellectual side of the. Oh, rightio.
I'm surprised you
How'd you what you thought it was just a bad one? There's a cross.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Let's go. I tell you what. Coincidentally, the next Falcon is another defender. One of the brothers from the back line, the Sydney Swans, Teddy Richards.
Oh,
Bang!
Edward.
Look at this.
Oh, Eddie.
Absolutely flushed him. Number 2. We spoke about him earlier. One of the absolute favourites. Hits the goal umpire. Bang! Stevie Johnson. He can do some magic things. Oh, look at that on the beak.
Right on the
very, very cold night at the Etihad Stadium. Not proud of that one. Number 1, one of the superstars, probably the best player for a long time from the Collingwood Footy Club, Scotty Pendlebury. Let's have a look at the great man at the MCG. Bang! He doesn't fumble, drop anything. But on this occasion,
Scotland.
I think he thought it was going to be taken in front. So there you go. There's the top 5 Falcons of the year.
Yeah, I like it. Now, the great thing about having such a huge media contingent in the AFL, I mean, let's face it, there's more media personalities than there are players. But any time a player speaks, we hear about it. And whenever players speak, often when you hear players speak a number of times, you find out that they have a particular word or phrase that is a bit of a crutch for them. So it's a filler or it's the start of every sentence, and we picked out a few of them, and Andrew Gaff is the first cab off the rank.
I think we obviously had to play. Obviously it was the first. Obviously would have been. Still have a lot of coming. Obviously the new game. Obviously Brady Rawn. He's obviously playing is obviously Duggan, obviously Pritis, obviously take it. Obviously in Melbourne, obviously in the first, obviously with him and obviously having to move, obviously right.
So he sees things very clearly, Andrew Gaff, because everything's obvious.
Obviously got his point across.
23 of them in one interview. That's not bad.
Chat.
Jared Waite knows what we're talking about as well.
Mate.
22
That's a good quiff as
well.
well.
Mate, you're embarrassing the players. You'll know better. You are no better.
I'm embarrassing the players.
You are.
You just brought in a bloke, put a jumper on him and said, don't come Monday
You're
of
no
the
better
year
about
and had him sacked from his club.
Mate, you're no better about the... Fair point. Fair point. But I didn't realise he got the sack. Why didn't you tell me before the show? Anyway, I feel sorry. But anyway, you're no better. You've got a bit of a faux pas saying the same thing. Same word. Yeah, you do. Let's have a listen.
Signing, but unfortunately, Alistair Lynch. I mean, unfortunately, there were, and unfortunately.
Oh, fortunately, we got you, mate.
Yeah, and that's
we
eight.
got you.
That's 8 in an hour.
No, that was in 20 minutes.
In a 2-minute segment.
20 minutes.
All right,
20 minutes.
What about those horns on your head?
I tell you what, my little Spudley Dudley.
What do you mean?
Why don't we just have a listen to our good friend Danny Frawley?
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to. I tell you what.
Nothing. I'm not saying another thing for the rest of the show. That's it.
All right, we need to take it back home. We've got some funny stuff that the cameras have picked up on the other side, and we're about to give away 2 grand final tickets. Welcome back to Bounce. You can see Alistair Lynch and Danny Frawley getting ready to award 2 grand final tickets to the best sign or poster, the most creative sign that is down here at the Fox Footy live site at the MCG. But before we do that, I just have to, for once and for all, prove that I have completely and utterly lost any common sense that I used to have by putting this on my head.
Oh, we're the big ones, Chief.
Please roll this finger, Bill. I can't keep wearing these sorts of things and acting like a complete imbecile, but I'm going to do it one last time on the grand final show because there is something that annoys me and we better not see it happen tomorrow. I'm talking about the coin toss.
Oh, no.
Now, let me ask you seriously, how hard is it to toss a coin? Oh, seriously, how can you mess up tossing a coin?
They're nervous, Chief.
How do you throw it over your shoulder or let it fall through your... Oh, give me a spell.
No.
Gazy, are you with me here?
Yeah, oh, that's a bit high. Jeez, can't find the thing now.
And he's back there giggling.
Turn it up, that's a turn it up.
Oh, seriously, what is going on? If I get to the ground tomorrow and I see someone mess up the coin toss, I may just invade the arena. Not that you're allowed to do that and heavy fines will apply, but I'm telling you, do not mess up the coin toss because it's just not hard. All right, we need to head back out into the crowd. Alistair Lynch and Danny Frawley ready to give away 2 grand final tickets, boys.
Rightio, Big Chieftain, the big rotund one. We've been chatting down here for a little while. Now, there's some good ones out there.
Oh, very hard to pick, Lynchy. This is tough.
Now, have you come up with one?
I think I have.
Rightio, now I'll let you announce it because it'll be pretty exciting because this is 2 grand final tickets. Obviously, big day tomorrow. Where is it?
I'm over here, mate.
Rightio, here we go.
What's better than Nick Nat-Nui? Nick, Matt and Shuey.
Beautiful. Let's go down.
Yeah,
let's go down and have a chat to the winner down here.
What's your name?
Denise.
Denise, you've won the 2 grand final tickets. How do you feel? Get around her, everyone.
Excited. Hello, Perth.
And Denise, obviously you're over from Perth. When did you arrive?
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Yep.
And tell us about the motivation here. How'd you come up with this?
We were wanting to rhyme something with Nat-Nui. My husband's was a little bit dirtier than mine, but I came up with one that was a bit nicer.
You excited?
Very excited and hopeful.
And did you have any tickets to the grand final, or is this it?
This is it.
Beautiful.
This is it.
So what are you? All right, we'll give you. What's the margin going to be? We know you're going to tip West Coast Eagles.
Oh, 13 for Shuey.
13 for Shuey.
She's shaking here.
Oh, very good.
Stop shaking. You've won it.
No,
well done. Well done.
Congratulations, Jace. We've got a couple of very happy winners down here.
Lynchy wants to give you a kiss. Come on, Lynchy. Give her a kiss. Well done.
There they go. Very happy, Chieftain.
Congratulations. Nothing like at the last moment getting a couple of grand final tickets. That is outstanding stuff. Now, the camera never lies, and there's a few things that we've picked up throughout the course of the year that we just want to have another revisit to. Young Lewis Taylor plays for the Brisbane Lions. He's small in stature but very courageous. I'm just not sure he's the man you want when things get willing. Come on, Louis, give us a chop out, will you?
That's a good one.
Any danger of giving us a chop out, Gaze? He's not going to help now. Some people have absolutely no idea of what's going on around them, even when there's a press conference going on. I mean, how could you just walk between Mick Malthouse and the camera with all the journos talking to him and not know what's going on? Even Jeff Walsh did it. Oh, come on, Jeff. Running the North Melbourne Football Club and walking between camera and interviewees. Extraordinary
Lindsay,
stuff.
come this way, mate. No, this way. Come this way. What's wrong? What's wrong, mate?
Speaking of not knowing what's going on.
What's wrong?
We've been very kindly delivered some ice cream here, which I don't want to see ending up on anyone. Mr. Dairy Whip, they've got a couple of sites here. Gate 6 and the MCC members proudly gave us this. Just have a little taste of. It is not to end up on me, or we will full on.
Who wants me to do it? Mate, I'm under pressure now.
This is not a joke. Are you listening to me?
Nice.
You'll get punched.
I'm under pressure from the crowd.
This surely is the worst kick of the year. Michael Hurley from the Essendon Footy Club. It's gone 15 rows sideways. Had an outstanding year. Just pipped in the Essendon best and fairest. I can't look at it, but that is a dreadful kick. This might be the best kick of the year.
Yep.
Jack Stephen. And he's a Saints spud. Have a look at this. Off the deck.
He meant to do it.
Around the corner.
Have a look at that.
And bends it back into Jack Loney.
And over the top. That is incredible.
One in a million.
What skill.
One in a million.
Fluke.
I think Sam Reid from the Sydney Swans perhaps recorded the most accurate kick that we've ever seen. Kicks the goal. And where does the ball go? Straight into the ball bag.
Wow.
Into the pill bag.
There's nothing getting one into the ball bag.
He's putting someone out of a job.
That's where those fire ants are.
Yeah, exactly right. Not a doubt. Mind you talk of accuracy, Jason Johannesson wasn't far behind him.
Oh, wow.
Look at it from this angle, Spud.
Oh!
Hit the camera.
Right
Hit the camera
on the
behind the goals. Now, unfortunately, with all the great skill we've seen in this game, every now and then, the skill takes a breather.
Oh.
You have to look at some of these bloopers to believe them. I mean, seriously.
Well, we
ended up getting a goal out of that.
Oh, no way.
That's skill. Clever. That's stiff.
A little harsh, do you think?
That is harsh.
What about at a press conference? The AFL.com.au mic wasn't plugged in. It kept on slipping over, drooping, and let me tell you, Alistair Clarkson exposed them.
Cyril didn't want attention around the funeral.
No, I'll leave that up to you. You're the expert with all due respect, Does that did it have the desired effect?
Whose is this microphone? This one here. She keeps wobbling all over the place. Let's move on, mate. There we go, yeah. I'm going to toss this one, Bruiser boy. Do you want to grab that for you?
And we know that there's ambush marketing. They're all trying to get their brand front and centre in front of the camera because half of these mics aren't even plugged in. It's a joke. They got nothing on the end of them.
How do they work?
They just want the advertiser there to be seen. At least plug them in, Spark.
Exactly right.
Plug them in so they're working.
Poindexter.
Any danger? Now you've got to be harmonious. You've got to be close. If you're going to have success, you've got to do anything you can for your teammate. Unless you're Stevie Johnson and you get refused the handball, and poor old Josh Walker cops a spray. Just let him kick it, Stevie.
He's nearly outside the...
Just let him kick it, mate.
Stevie's nearly in the fifth row.
Cracks it and storms off.
Look at him spit the dummy. Oh, I'm going home. I'm going home to mama.
Some of the best vision of the year.
That is very good. And the other thing, mind you, speaking of Geelong, when you're down at Simmons Stadium, don't tear into the middle because if you go too far into that protected area around the centre circle, this will happen. Security are just picking them up and turfing them out, Spud. You're in the protected zone, out you go.
What about the occupational health and safety there?
They're just chucking them, just turfing them out. Now, at the Coaches Association Awards during the week, Luke Beveridge was named Coach of the Year, and he had an outstanding year. But for everything that he's given us when there's been a microphone put in front of him, our vote goes to Richmond coach Damien Hardwick.
We always want a little bit more. Yeah. Mrs. Hardwick says the same thing. Oh, it happens all the time. Sometimes I like to make love to my wife. I don't perform to the highest standard.
Apologies for being late.
That's right.
May have been asked before, but tell us about this fire.
Yeah, I've already covered it, mate. I apologise.
Yeah. Can you tell us about it? Because I wasn't here.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's not my fault. Sorry, mate. Next question.
Yeah, brilliant with the head wobble as you say it, but good luck.
I had a line about the tail. Mexican drop balls.
Dim is an absolute ripper. He has had an outstanding year in front of the microphone, and we've had an outstanding year, at least we think so, here at Fox Footy with all the shows, with all our game coverage. Plenty of highlights and some not so high lights. Bulldogs going places,
Yep.
Collingwood. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the job done from here.
Sorry, Hunter.
Well, Spud's phone went off.
Spud, are you kidding?
Hunter's looked at them. They're hanging in the corner of my eye, mate.
Set hashtag.
That is the biggest scrotum I've ever seen.
What was he expecting? He's got on the plums. That's exactly what I was saying. Casey, turn up, you've got fire ants on your old fella, and you don't think it's going to be sore?
How long we got?
40 seconds, Brownie.
Kicks off. Drops the headset and goes with a 40-second call.
40 seconds is enough. Who would want to go out with Barry Hall's daughter?
Yeah.
Who would come to the front door and say, "Is your daughter home, Baz?"
She's going to be.
You've got to be kidding, haven't you?
She's going to have red hair and freckles.
Yeah, I know, but
white skin.
This sounds like me.
She's going to be beautiful.
Oh no.
He said, "When was the last time you had sex?" This is 1971. Oh, about 1950. He said, "That's a long time ago." I said, "Oh, no, it's only 2150 now."
Now, Lynchy, you might want to take this one as well, because you're sitting next to a fellow, a colleague of ours, John Brown, and look at you stitched him up here. You refused to tell Brownie that he left his tissue in his collar.
Yes, over here we are now. No, this one back here. Look, I think he'll play well, but if he doesn't, I still... which one now? Okay, I still think the doggies will win. Oh, cut it out!
Roll back the rest of the forwards in. That one? You won the red light on usually.
But surely when your wife says this is not your best idea, possibly you would have had a three thing. So you went along with it as well.
That's right. It was a bit of a laugh when I checked my phone at half time and you said, "I told you, you idiot."
I'm going for you. Yeah.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
And it wasn't Marston, it was yippee-yi-yay.
Yippee-yi-yo. And a cut.
What are you doing?
Your flavour saver.
Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't move.
Sit still.
Oh.
Well, things took an unexpected turn there.
Cut me! Why don't I just climb over there and get hold of it?
There you go.
I reckon, Jared, you've spoken too much tonight, so I'm going to take you off. If he gets off, he will be in the team, Jack. McRae is...
Chase! You're out!
Oh, geez. Seriously.
You have to wonder at times. Let me just tell you right now, there are a lot of issues amongst all the crew at Fox Footy, but at least most of it's in good humour, I guess. We've got some problems. Hey, we're just about drawing to a close. The show's going to end, Spud, and the season ends, and you've got a bit of time off. What will you be doing in the off-season?
What am I going to do? I'm going over to LA, over to Hollywood. Oh, to meet all my mates.
What mates?
What do you mean, mates? Amy Schumer, who I interviewed. I've got Brangelina there, all right? What about Kanye and Kim Kardashian over there? And old little Beaver man, old Justin Bieber. So,
give me
no, we're going well. Yeah, that's me, mate. I'm heading back over there. Old Sunset Boulevard over there, champ.
We did have a lot of fun with you when you did the Amy Schumer interview, and you told us about what was going on over in Hollywood. You had been there, and we also found out that you'd picked up a pretty unique new accent.
Don't go there.
God damn it, Chief. You do a good job, but you're a small-time operator. Let's face it.
Oh, no.
You're local. I've got to take this show global. How am I looking?
You getting a bit carried away?
Not at all. I tell you what, I feel good in my own skin. I smell good too.
You did say
You wouldn't want to swallow these and get stuck in your throat because you'll get a stiff neck. They have Viagra. You got some Viagra there, Jace?
Move on.
I have it with 2 coffees every morning.
What else? What slipped by you apparently was the Bruce Jenner crack.
Yes.
What would we call you, Caitlin, now?
I think Bruce has got 2 cracks now, I believe.
Oh.
Well, I think he has.
It's gone down real well.
I've got to be honest with you, Spud. I don't think it's possible for you or I to embarrass ourselves any more than we have done this
my
year.
daughters go all week, said, Dad, please don't do that again.
Hey, just you keep fronting up and you keep doing it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it again next year. It's been a long year, guys, hasn't it? It's been a good year. Good looking forward tomorrow. Good luck to the Hawks, Chief.
Now, we must say, don't forget our best of show on Sunday night at 7:30. A big thank you to you boys for our grand final special.
Well done, Lindsay.
Thanks for everyone that turned up to watch tonight. And good luck to the 2 teams tomorrow, the West Coast and Hawthorn. Have a great grand final and have a great weekend. We'll catch you again soon.
This has been a Fox Footy production, part of the Fox Sports Network.